Hello and welcome to Dave's Delightful Dishes. As always, I'm Dave, and it is such a delight to have you visiting me in my kitchen today. And today I was at the market looking around for things to make, and I went through the meat aisle because I like doing that. I mean, normally I talk to my butcher, but I like seeing what they have out for display too. And they had skirt steak, which they don't have every day. So immediately I saw skirt steak and I thought, fajitas. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a mixed grill fajita. You got to come check it out. All right, so what I did, and this is something we got to prepare a little bit in advance. So I have a Ziploc bag, which I'm going to get open before my hands get slimy, and I have a pound of skirt steak. Right now I'm leaving it as a full size. After it marinates for a while, I'll probably cut it into halves. So just to make it easier to grill later. That goes in. I have 2 chicken cutlets, probably about the whole package was 1.25 pounds, so this is probably about 1/2 pound's worth. Those go in there, and then I have a cup of. If you go to the Mexican and Latino foods aisle, you'll see different marinades. This one is called Mojo. And it is a pretty good all-around marinade. It's citrusy, got some spice. It smells like a fajita to me. So this we're gonna put in here with these guys, and we're gonna let this marinade. Make sure all the good stuff gets in there too. We're gonna seal this up, and we're gonna let this marinate for 2 to 3 hours. Marinate. So when we get closer to dinner time, I'll pull these back out, and we will go ahead and cook them up. The good news is, other than the letting this sit, which you can do this the day before and pull them out when you're ready for them, or put them in the morning and pull them out later. Once this is marinated, then the actual cooking is really fast and easy, and then it just comes down to what you do for sides. So we're gonna put this in the fridge, and I'll get back to you this evening. Okay, this marinade's been doing its thing for several hours, and as you can see, the meat has gotten a deep soaking with the flavor. I cut the skirt steak into thirds just so it would fit on my grill pan better, and then the chicken cutlets are also very well marinated. And I have a 1/4 cup of reserve that did not go with the meat of the same marinade because that's going to go with my vegetables. I have bell peppers and onions that I've sliced vertically, pretty thin. And they're going to go, and we're going to go ahead and cook those now. And once those are cooking, then we're going to start with the meat. So let's see us over at the cooktop. Okay, so I've got my pan, high heat, and I've put some cooking spray on this. And let me bring my marinade over because I will need that shortly. What we're going to do is we're going to put the peppers and the onions on this pan, and we're going to just work them around until they soften, which is going to be several minutes. Once they've softened up a little bit, I'm going to put the marinade on them. But I expect this to take 3 to 4 minutes. So I'll get back to you once we are actually cooking with the marinade. All right, now that these have softened up and are starting to change color and are really giving off that wonderful peppers and onion smell, I'm going to add the marinade, and we're just going to let this cook down. I'm going to put it to medium heat, and we're just going to let this cook until it reduces. And that's going to transfer all those wonderful, kind of Latin flavors into these peppers and onions. And that's going to complement perfectly with the meat. Yeah, and occasionally you'll get a pepper escape on you. Oop. Okay. The liquid has absorbed / cooked off, and the vegetables are looking great. So we're going to go ahead and move that out of the way. And maybe I can get that one pepper out of the way. And then I'm going to put my grill pan on. High heat. This needs to heat up. Once it's up to temp, we are going to go ahead and put, because you want this real hot before you start cooking, and make sure your vent hood is on as high as it can go, because this might get smoky. All right, because I've only got so much room on the pan, and I've got a mixed grill going, I'm going to do the chicken first, and probably one of the steak pieces. Let me do the small one, and we're going to do 4 minutes on a side here, and that's it. 4 minutes on each side. Check the chicken. The beef, 4 minutes on the side is all you need, and then you put them aside and rest them for a minute while I cook the rest. All right, as you can see, it's been 3 minutes on a side, or that part you can't see, but you can see the results. The chicken is done. The steak is done as well as we want it to be. You see it's still kind of pink in the middle, which is how you want it. But we're going to now move these over. I put them on the still hot pan with the peppers while I finish off the rest. So these last two pieces are going on here. And as soon as they're done, we're gonna go back to the workstation and put it all together. All right, everything's done cooking. Let's put it all together. So we have our meat, and we're gonna cut these into little lengths. That way when you bite them, this is with the grain actually, because when you bite them, you'll be biting against the grain, which is kind of unusual for steak, but it is definitely a way to do it. And remember, if you got clean hands, you can touch your food. And if you look, these are pretty pink in the middle, but that's the way you want this. You want this to be medium rare. But if you personally want it to be more medium, not a problem. Just cook it a little bit longer. But this is super tender, and this is just how we want it for this particular dish. All right, that's almost broken down. There's all the beef. Here comes the chicken breast. And see, that is just perfectly done, but it's really still very, very moist, which you'd hope so after all that marinating. And finally, the last piece of chicken. And now I can get my cutting board out of the way. And I might as well wipe my hands, because that's a nice thing to do. And here comes a plate for us, a platter. And I'm going to take my peppers and onions, and I'm going to lay them out along this platter. They are still quite warm. They're steaming, which is exactly what you want. That's why I like using cast iron. It really holds the heat well, and I kept it on the hot stove, so even though it wasn't actively cooking, it wasn't getting cold. And now I'm going to take steak and chicken. You're going to get a good picture of this when I'm done plating. And then I have guac, pico de gallo, and black beans. And then there will be sour cream available, as well as, and this is the only time I use the microwave for actually cooking things. It's so that I can heat up tortillas. So now we have a meal. And you can add whatever accessories you like to it. But it is really quite delightful and perfect for a family. So this is something that, it takes a little bit of time for the prep work because we got to marinate things. But marinating is passive. You can put it in overnight. You can put it in the morning before you go to work. It's just pouring liquid and putting meat into a bag and then putting it in your refrigerator. The rest of this only took a couple of minutes. So if you prep ahead, this can be a weeknight delight that you can do with your family on almost no notice. And hey, I hope you like it, and I hope you try it. Please let me know. Give me comments and tell me what you want me to do next. Challenges are coming in, so you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff coming up that'll say challenge accepted. Enjoy them. And by all means, if you do like these things, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And check out my Facebook page, which will be linked in the description below, as well as my Instagram. And if you like what you're seeing and you like my apron, there is a link on my Facebook page to my Spreadshirt page, and you can find accessories like that there, which I would be more than happy if you purchase. Anyway, I will see you at the next recipe. Have a great day.